Welcome back, my brave and radiant soul. I'm Luna Celestine, and today, beneath a sky stirring with ancient whispers and electric prophecy, I invite you to walk with me through one of the most powerful, energetic shifts of the year. On May 4th, 2025, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and deep transformation, stations retrograde in Aquarius. But this time, it does not retreat. It holds its ground in the realm of the future, like a guardian at the threshold of evolution, and from that very moment, a cosmic wave of recalibration begins to ripple outward. If you've been feeling stuck lately, as if time has paused, or like you're waiting for something unnamed to arrive, this is your confirmation. What you're experiencing isn't a delay. It's a sacred invitation to pause, to listen, and to reconnect with the immense power quietly stirring within you. In today's transmission, I'll help you uncover the real reason behind the heaviness you've been carrying, why old connections are fading, and why the universe may be quietly rerouting you, not to punish you, but to protect you from what no longer resonates with your evolving soul. Take a deep breath. We are about to enter one of the most mysterious and sacred energetic zones of 2025, and over the next 66 hours, reality itself will begin speaking in symbols, synchronicities, and transformation. Are you ready to receive? Now, let's look at an important astrological event that directly affects Leo. Around this time, the Sun, your ruling planet, forms a rare alignment with Pluto, the planet known for deep transformation, endings, and new beginnings. This event only happens about once every 15 years, and it marks a turning point for anyone under the Leo sign. It creates a strong energy shift that invites you to let go of what no longer fits and begin building a more honest, powerful version of yourself. This isn't a surface-level change. It's the kind that reaches deep into your habits, your identity, and the way you've been showing up in life. Maybe there are patterns or roles you've carried for years that have quietly run their course. This alignment helps reveal what those are. You might already sense it, a part of your life or personality that no longer feels right, even if you can't explain why. That discomfort is a signal something inside you is being asked to change. Not because it's broken, but because it's ready to grow. When the Sun and Pluto meet, it often feels like a shedding process. You may start to feel a strong pull to walk away from certain behaviors, relationships, or goals that no longer reflect who you truly are. It's not always easy, change rarely is, but this alignment gives you the push and clarity to take that step, and the transformation that follows could happen much faster than usual. What might take years to shift could begin moving in just a matter of weeks. This is not about losing who you are. It's about uncovering the parts of yourself that were always there but have been hidden or held back. As we continue in this reading, we'll explore how this moment affects not just how you see yourself, but also your purpose, your relationships, and what you want to create in the world. This is your chance to leave behind what's outdated and step into something stronger, simpler, and more real. The question is, are you ready to let it happen? As this shift begins to take hold, you may start noticing subtle but undeniable changes in your daily experience. Things that once brought you excitement or comfort may now feel strangely empty. Activities, routines, or relationships that used to energize you might suddenly feel forced or disconnected. You may find yourself going through the motions, wondering why something that once felt so important now barely holds your attention. This isn't a failure on your part. It's a natural sign that part of your inner world is moving on, even if your external life hasn't caught up yet. The way people respond to you might also begin to shift. You may sense distance in certain relationships, or notice that some conversations no longer flow like they used to. It's not necessarily about conflict. Often it's just a quiet space that grows between you and others as your energy changes. You may find that some people begin to fade from your life, or that you feel less drawn to be around them. This too is a signal. As you change, your connections realign, and those who no longer match your growth may begin to naturally fall away. At the center of all this is your own intuition. Even if your mind doesn't fully understand what's happening, a quieter voice inside you already knows. It's the part of you that keeps whispering, "This chapter is done." It might speak through a sense of restlessness, a pull towards something unknown, or a feeling of heaviness you can't explain. You may try to dismiss it, telling yourself you're just tired or overthinking, but it keeps coming back. That voice is not confusion. It's your own inner wisdom, trying to prepare you for what comes next. The signs of transformation don't always arrive with drama. Most of the time, they begin like this, quietly, gradually, through small shifts that ask for your attention. The more you notice them, the more clearly you'll see what's trying to change, and the more gently you'll be able to let it go. This is not about forcing anything to end. It's about being honest with yourself about what has already ended inside you. What you are going through now is not a loss. It's a process of cleansing. This farewell, though it may feel difficult or even painful, is not here to take something important from you. It is here to clear away the layers that have covered up who you really are. Over time, we all build up parts of ourselves to survive, to adapt, to meet expectations. We take on roles, we hold on to stories, we wear masks. And at some point, those layers start to weigh us down. Not because they were wrong, but because they have done their job. They protected us, but they are no longer needed. This is what Pluto's energy is helping you do now. It is not punishing you. It is not removing your joy or your future. It is simply stripping away what has become dull, false, or disconnected from your truth. Imagine a diamond that's been left in the dust. Its brilliance never disappeared, but it has been hidden. And now, little by little, that surface is being cleared. What's being revealed is not something new. It's something original, something that has always lived inside you. You are not losing your light. You are reclaiming it. This process doesn't always feel graceful. Sometimes it feels like confusion, like emptiness, like the quiet aftermath of something you can't name. But underneath that stillness, something real is beginning to return. A version of you that is simpler, clearer, more honest. This is not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more yourself than you have ever allowed before. And the first step is letting go of what's no longer aligned, not with fear, but with trust. When we release the old, space opens up. And in that space, something deeper can rise. Something that doesn't need to prove itself because it simply exists in truth. This is the gift of the farewell. It asks us to stop holding on so tightly and to trust that what remains is what matters, and what's coming has room to finally take root. Moving through this time with clarity and strength requires something deeper than control. It requires presence. And more than that, it asks for a conscious partnership with the process itself. The changes unfolding now are not random. They are guided, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. That is why the first and most powerful step you can take is surrender. Not as defeat, but as trust. Surrendering here means releasing the need to hold everything together. It means allowing what is shifting to shift, without trying to stop it or speed it up. This is what we call sacred surrender, choosing to step out of resistance and into alignment with the wisdom of the universe. The second practice is gratitude, not the surface kind, but the deeper kind, the kind that honors even the hard parts. True gratitude means recognizing that what is leaving your life served its purpose. It taught you something, it shaped you, and now it's time to thank it. A relationship, a phase, a version of yourself. Whatever it is that is ending, offer it your respect. Say goodbye with intention. This kind of letting go doesn't erase the past, it blesses it. And in doing so, it frees your energy to fully welcome what's coming next. Finally, Step into what many spiritual teachers call beginner's mind, a state of openness and curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" try asking, "What is being made possible now?" Let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. Let go of the idea that you must know what comes next in order to move forward. Real growth often happens when we release our tight grip on expectations and allow ourselves to be surprised. When we meet the unknown with humility rather than fear, new paths appear, ones we couldn't have predicted, but that feel right the moment we begin to walk them. This is how you cross the threshold, not by force, but by attention, not by rushing, but by honoring the moment for exactly what it is. A transition, sacred and necessary, leading you toward a more whole and honest version of yourself. During powerful transitions like the one you're moving through now, it can be deeply healing to mark the moment with a personal ritual, not because the universe demands it, but because your own heart often needs a way to understand, to acknowledge, and to let go. Ritual gives shape to the invisible. It brings the unseen parts of our inner process into the light, allowing us to engage with them in a grounded, embodied way. One simple but powerful practice is to write a letter of farewell. You can address it to a person, a past version of yourself, a role you've played, or even to a dream that no longer fits who you're becoming. Say what needs to be said. Speak honestly. Then, when the time feels right, offer it back to the earth. By burning it safely or burying it as a symbol of release, this small act can help the mind and body register the closure that the soul has already begun. You might also feel called to spend intentional time in nature. Go where the noise quiets and your own rhythm returns. Sit by a tree, walk near water, watch the sky shift from dusk to night. Nature has a way of holding space for us without asking anything in return. In those still moments, it becomes easier to hear what's really moving within you. You may not receive answers in words, but you'll feel a sense of peace, of being witnessed by something greater. As you go through this process, pay attention to the symbols that appear around you. You might begin to see butterflies, phoenix imagery, or recurring scenes of sunset and sunrise. These are not coincidences. They are mirrors held up by the subconscious to remind you that transformation is happening. The butterfly does not rush its emergence. The sun does not question whether it will rise again. These images are your companions now, showing you that even in release, there is beauty. Even in the unknown, there is rhythm. By creating your own way of honoring this transition, you give yourself permission to step into what's next with intention. You're not just waiting for life to change. You are actively participating in your own becoming. And that choice, even when it's quiet, is a powerful one. At the heart of everything you are experiencing now, Leo, lies a truth you must not forget. You are light, not a borrowed light, not a fragile one, but a steady, radiant core that burns from within. You are ruled by the sun for a reason. There is something about your presence, your voice, your spirit that naturally illuminates. Even when you doubt yourself, even when circumstances grow heavy, the fire inside you remains untouched. It may flicker. It may quiet itself during times of grief, confusion, or letting go, but it never truly fades. You were not designed to be dimmed. You were born to shine in your own way, in your own time. This period of change is not a removal of your essence. It is a clearing of everything that has kept you from fully living it. Sometimes the universe rearranges our lives not because we are being punished, but because we are being prepared. What feels like loss may actually be a deep act of protection. What feels like delay may be the very pause required for something more real to take root. You are not being held back. You are being redirected to a path that honors more of who you are, not less. And yes, that process often requires parting ways with old dreams, familiar roles, or versions of yourself that once kept you safe. But safety is not the same as truth. Growth doesn't always feel comfortable, but it does feel right in time. And what's waiting on the other side of this transition is not smaller, it's wider, fuller, and far more honest. The universe is not closing a door to punish you. It is opening space for the version of you that no longer needs to shrink to belong. So as you move through this chapter, remember that your light is not conditional. It does not depend on approval, achievement, or certainty. It's something you carry just by being. And now, more than ever, the world needs that kind of light, unfiltered, unafraid, and fully alive. Let what needs to fall away fall. Trust that nothing essential can ever be taken from you. What's real will remain, and what's coming will match the brightness you were born to become. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take one more deep breath. Not just to ground yourself, but to truly feel the weight of what is being asked of you now. This moment in your life is not ordinary. It is not random. It is a crossing point, one of those rare inner thresholds where everything you have lived until now gathers, pauses, and prepares to give way to something new. Not because what came before was wrong, but because it has fulfilled its role in shaping you. And now you are being asked to step forward, not into someone else's idea of success or joy, but into a version of yourself that is more aligned, more liberated, and more true. It is okay if this farewell feels strange or even painful. Endings often do, even when they are right. But what you are really releasing is not your power, not your future. You are letting go of the excess, the noise, the doubt, the roles that no longer fit, the weight you were never meant to carry. And in their place, space is being made. Space for clarity, space for love, space for a deeper relationship with yourself. One that is no longer built on performing or pleasing, but on simply being who you are without apology. So take this time seriously. Create room in your life for silence, for ritual, for stillness. Give yourself permission to feel without needing to fix, to rest without needing to justify, and to trust without needing to know how it all unfolds. These are not passive acts, they are sacred ones. They are how you let the soul catch up to the story. They are how you stop surviving and start remembering the truth, that you were never lost. You were only shedding what you no longer needed. The road ahead may not be mapped, but it is alive with possibility. You are stepping into a new chapter, not as someone incomplete, but as someone who has finally remembered what wholeness feels like. Let the old stories go. Let the grief come and pass like weather. Let yourself rise, not because you have something to prove, but because you have something to live. Something more honest, something more luminous. And so, Leo, stand in your fire. Let it burn away what's done and light the way forward. You are not fading. You are forming. And what comes next is not a question of luck or timing. It is a reflection of the inner work you're doing now, in this very moment. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to share what spoke to your heart in the comments. You never know who might find their courage through your words. Until next time, stay close to your truth, honor your timing, and never forget, your light was never meant to be small.